Happy Friday, Juju Gang. How's it going? How is it going? Let me know if I'm coming in clear on the video. How's it going, AG, Vern? How's it going, Abel, Jeff, Marco? How's it going? A lot of familiar faces from the Juju Gang on Discord on here. Let me know. Gonzalo, how's it going? Appreciate that. Clear. Awesome. Thank you, whatever. Thank you, Mike. Fitting on your name as well. Awesome. Alrighty. So let's talk Tesla. Welcome, Dan, Chadwick, Cleveland in the house. Yeah, let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. City, state, country, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. 775 on Tesla. And I'll read it in a second here. I've got my chat pulled up. Let's just make sure everything's good to go. So kind of a wonky day, I want to say. To be honest, thanks for subscribing. I've been kind of just snoozed out on the market in the morning. And I think rightfully so. If you look at the market in the morning, and I'll change it to the 5-minute here, we've just kind of been flirting in that 779 to 767 area. We made a low of 763.59 for the day. So just kind of been in there. Again, it doesn't take a genius to look at the moving averages and look at, okay, if we're going to break up to the upside, we're going to need a break of obviously high of day. But it's these moving averages. It's the 200 EMA on the 5-minute. That's really giving us some resistance. So that's at the moment 777. And it's funny, I just turned on as soon as I went like in my software and stuff, Tesla started rallying. So check out the rally. Hopefully we can keep this going for power hour. All right, let's read some cities. Ola, I'm guessing that's Hawaii. Jim, how's it going? Good evening, my friend, says Vern. How's it going, Vern? Let's see what's going on with the EV credits. We'll talk about that soon. I don't know, actually. Kalamazoo, Michigan, Atlanta, Seattle, Boise, Idaho, San Mateo, San Diego. Mike, how's it going? Tom Nash thinks Tesla's worth $1,500 right now. Not a hot take. Is that Saskatchewan? I'm not sure. Dan says Esther Crazy. Saskatchewan. Maybe it's Saskatchewan. Idaho, West Virginia. Sanji, how's it going? Belgium. Bit of a mad says too many fills. Yeah, hopefully we can turn this around for the last hour trading. Yeah, we're climbing. It's pinned, says Sonic. Yes, hopefully, 777 is kind of the break that we need at the moment. Chopping wood, says Tesla owner. Nice, that's very cool. Yeah, it's funny. I always got people, saying in the chat, like I'm at the gym, I'm, on a walk. It's always interesting to see what you guys are up to. Let's get over 1,000 likes, says Chadwick. Yeah, you guys were nuts. You guys killed it last stream on Monday. I guess you guys appreciated me going live more than once a week, but West Virginia as well. I see it now. 1,000. That stream, it's going to be tough to break, but that stream got 1.1 thousand likes. We're at 50. We're at 65. It's growing right now as I talk about it, but it was nuts. It was actually crazy to me. 72. Okay, I guess we're going back up. San Fran, London, Dallas, Fort Worth here. Netherlands, says Marco. Toronto, UK, Pittsburgh, Pasadena, Chicago, Missouri. Norway, Fort Lauderdale, Denmark. Geez, we are international, folks. We're international. This is awesome. Max Payne, says Raptor. Max Payne Raptor is, remind me, 775, you were saying, I think, right? Or someone was saying in our Discord this morning. Let's see here. Alrighty. Okay, so let's South Carolina. Wow, Scotland. It's funny. I met someone here locally. I ran into someone at the coffee shop. They're like, "Hey, are you actually from Hit That Bid?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm from Scotland." It was this very nice gentleman. He's from Scotland, but he was just here. It was or he's originally from Scotland. Scott, I just saw you give me an award on Reddit. I appreciate that. 775 here on Tesla. So let's talk about momentum. Let's talk about deliveries for a second. Now, I had some lottos, by the way, today that I just, they're zero. Let's just say that they're zero. I think there were 800 strike. Yeah, past 800 even. But okay, so let's talk about deliveries. I'm expecting deliveries to come out tomorrow at some point. Now, probably tomorrow morning. So what are my expectations? So Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily is projecting about 251,000 deliveries for the quarter. He said he'd be surprised if if the real number was 10,000 on the low side or more, meaning he's leaving a margin of error about 241,000 and above. So he's very confident with that. I'm no delivery genius. I just follow people that are geniuses. Troy Teslake is a person that conglomerates data. Rob Maurer, all these people on Twitter that I respect. At the end of the day, I know I'm not going to be competing with them or against them to figure out delivery numbers. These guys are going in depth, right? They're looking at inventory, they're looking at run rates, they're running out, which models were offline for the quarter or which days and what reports are like. It's a lot of work, right? So definitely support them. So my gut feeling is so the street, and I can check Gary Blacksford probably has it up, but I'm guessing the street is probably at 225 ish. If someone knows in the chat, let me know. Um, Let me just pull this up here. Maybe someone knows. Okay, so I found it. Expected to be 230,000 versus a Wall Street consensus of 222. 221 says Tesla owner. Thank you. So Wall Street is at 222. Gary says this sets up potentially, and maybe I'll share my Chrome here. Gary says this sets up potentially a sell on the news event next week, despite the annual shareholder meeting, which could coincide with Austin opening and likely a passage of the $8,000 EV credit. Let me just read this again. Why does he think this is a sell the news event? Okay, you guys can see it. Three-quarter deliveries for Tesla expected tonight or tomorrow AM, widely expected to be 230 plus versus Wall Street consensus of 222. I just don't know why that'd be a sell the news event. Personally speaking, I don't get it. Here's the thing. If Wall Street's at 222 and Tesla comes at 250 in a quarter where there was massive chip shortages, everyone was everyone in auto, and I found this amazing screenshot. I'll try to find it here right now as I scroll around Twitter. But check this out. Let's see here. Check this out. Right? Stellantis US sales in quarter 3 are down 19%. Jeeps are down 11%. Ram is down 17%. Chrysler is down 51%. Dodge is down 32%. Fiat's down 64%. And Alfa Romeo is down 10%. Just nuts. And this is US sales, by the way. And this is straight from Automotive News, which is a verified Twitter handle. So it's it is crazy. It's nuts to see how bad the auto industry is doing. I mean, it's somewhat expected. So if Tesla comes out, and I'll just go on Hyperchart's, I like Hyperchart's site for information. And I go to vehicles delivered. You'll see by the quarter. Last quarter, we were at 201,000 vehicles delivered. The quarter before that, 184. Remember, quarter ones are going to be a little bit lower on average, all things being equal, than quarter 4. Quarter 4 of last year, if you remember how long ago that feels like it was, 180,000. This was the quarter that finished off the year, obviously, and we hit pretty much 500,000 vehicles. I think 5 short or something like that. So, it's. Someone says 230K is Daniel Ives' projection. So Tesla coming at 250 is would be nuts. That would be nuts, in my opinion. And here's another thing to look at. And I'll pull up Black Box Stocks. Here's another thing to look at. Is should Tesla outperform this quarter 700, let's say 250,000 vehicles delivered or produced? Well, as an analyst, you got to think to yourself, how is that possible? How did Tesla do that despite all of the headwinds that the auto industry was facing? And does that spur an onslaught of analyst upgrades to come in the next couple of weeks before earnings? I think one thing that is interesting with Tesla right now is, yes, they're producing more vehicles en masse, like they're growing incredibly, but their margin is actually growing as well. Their automotive gross margin ex ZEV credits is growing. So there's a lot to look forward to. And Rob Maurer yesterday was saying, in case you didn't watch his live stream on Tesla Daily, was saying he thinks in quarter 4 of this year, Tesla could produce 300,000 vehicles with a contribution of only about 20,000 from Berlin and Austin combined. So about 10,000 in the quarter from both of those factories, right? At 300,000, if Rob's right with 251,000 and he's accurate or close enough with 300,000, that gets us to 933,000 car deliveries for fiscal year 2021. That's an 87% growth over last year's deliveries, right? So it's just nuts. Tesla owner says auto industry has poor sales due to chip shortage. Tesla has record sales. Tesla has a competitive advantage when it comes to this chip shortage. Like no, like hands down. Dan says good thing Tesla isn't an auto company. Exactly. Um, let's see here. Yeah, so let's talk. So at 300K, Mike says we'll be back in the 80 club in the beginning of the year. So here's the thing: a lot to look forward to, fundamentally speaking. And I have CNBS pulled up in case anything good comes up. A lot to look forward to fundamentally. With FSD, by the way, Elon did confirm that if you have the full self-driving button on right now, you're not going to be getting full self-driving this Friday, but today, but the following Friday, so October the 8th. And that's because he wants it to coincide with 10.2 beta release. You know what is nuts? What is nuts is how fast these full self-driving updates are coming out. It's crazy. Paul says should be twofold upgrades. One is updating production for 2022 and 2023 fiscal years to represent Shanghai pace, Model Y ramp. And two is updating the earnings per share estimates based on Shanghai margins on expansion factories. That's true. And you know what? Every factory that Tesla puts out is going to be better than the last. Berlin, actually, there was a tweet store that Tyler on our Discord shared with me. Shout out to you, Tyler. And I'm going to pull it up here if I can. Let's see here. There it is. Pull up Chrome. And it's talking about Berlin. Alex on Twitter says, according to, I think, Brandenburg sources, Herbert Diess and brand CEO Ralph called Thursday all 120 top managers in Wolfsburg together for a crisis meeting. By the way, if you have 120 top managers, I mean, that is very top heavy, right? Diess stated that compared to Tesla and Chinese manufacturers, Volkswagen is too expensive, slow, and low productivity, not competitive. Guys, this is not new. I think who remembers the all hands meeting that Volkswagen had? Was it sometime last summer when they all got together for like 3 days, stopped working, and just had like a all hands on deck type of meeting? Alex goes on to say, now it's a matter of taking up the quote fight against Grundenheid. Diess said, according to BI sources or Business Insider. Damn, there you go. If everything remains as it is, Diess insists Volkswagen will no longer be competitive. Diess, quote, we have a great responsibility for this site. We have to embrace the new competition. Quote, it is urgently necessary that new courses set in Wolfsburg. Competition with Tesla's new Gigafactory will be brutal. The electric car pioneer sets new standards in car production. For example, he goes on to say, a Model 3 is built in 10 hours. More than 3 times as fast as a Volkswagen ID3. This puts Tesla in another dimension for productivity and profitability. This is straight from the CEO of Volkswagen, right? Herbert Diess made it clear, we will need a will to live and a jolt at the site. Trinity has to take the site to a new competitive level and has to revolutionize it, also with new processes. However, the board says the designs for this project so far don't go far enough. Diess, quote, in the end, it's also about the jobs we have here, or the supervisory board or the employee representatives don't decide about the jobs. It is the customer who decides. And the customer buys the product that offers more quality, more features for a better price. So if anyone told you that legacy auto is coming, like the competition is coming, right? Essentially a busted growth story. This is straight from the horse's mouth. Respectfully. The Volkswagen Group CEO concluded, quote, that's why we have to take up the fight, attack, and not let Grünheid ruin our location. This is really alarming and crisis atmosphere at Volkswagen headquarters, and the tone of the CEO sounds very different from Herbert Diess's tweet today. Folks, this is, I mean, it's if you're following anything Tesla related, it's not like this is shocking. But hearing it, by the way, we are mooning on that news. Hey, folks. Gentry, how's it going? And that's just crazy. I mean, okay, it's not crazy as a Tesla bull that reads a lot about Tesla's manufacturing competitive advantage. But to hear it directly, so candidly from Herbert Diess like that, it's nuts. Again, first principles thinking, right? Sanju says Volkswagen has reduced hours on their factories in Germany until mid-October due to part shortages. Wow. Let's see here. What's your score? Says Tesla owner. I don't have FSD. I'm unfortunately in Canada, and there's this hilarious meme. I'm gonna try to find it if I can. Let's see here. This one right here. Let's see if I can pull this up. This is me essentially right now. Oh, I gotta zoom out or something like that. Here it is. Right here. Well, so what's your safety score? Asks someone to me. I live in Canada, and then a subtle embrace. That is me right now. That's what I shared in Discord. That's the meme everyone's sending me on Twitter. I get it. Canadians, don't have it all great. In fact, we don't have it all great for a lot of things, but it is what it is. Hey Bella, how's it going? Great American says, too bad the stock is not following the momentum of the tailwinds of the company. That is the long-term advantage in our favor. Okay, high of day, folks. High of day. Here we go. 777.29. Oh, sorry, not high of day. High of day is 780. Okay, so a couple bucks away, but pretty good strength here. 777.35 for all the audio listeners. It's Deece, not dice. Sorry, Alex. Thanks for subscribing, Juju Child. Okay, interesting name. Maybe that was inspired. I like it. Daniel says chip shortage is a cover for low demand. Very, very possible. In fact, that's what Kathy Wood is saying, right? I was in jail for about 45 days, and when I came out, my Tesla profits were crazy. Love being in jail was good. I would have sold. Bella, happy to have you out of jail, I guess. That sucks, but happy that you're making money in the stock market. I guess perspective, right? That's hilarious. Someone changed their name to Juju Child. That's awesome. Aswath says, what's your take on Chamath selling Tesla stock earlier this year? Yeah, so if you don't know Chamath Palihapitiya, hey, T-Mac, thanks for becoming a member. You finally get that orange next to you. T-Mac, by the way, is already a VIP Patreon supporter of the channel, so I appreciate you for joining Retailer as well. Now you get to use the emojis. So just put in semicolon and then put Juju or Elon. And I think I have Cybertruck as well. Can add more as well. Okay. So like I was talking about with Chamath. So Chamath came out, remember, earlier this year. He talked about on CNBS about, hey, Tesla stock is a double, triple from here. Tesla is a distributed utility energy company. Blah, blah, blah. Why would you sell? If I sell, I have a $1 billion problem. People don't realize, like, if something's working, you got to keep it in. And then now it comes out, he does an interview with Scott, I think from CNBC, and Scott says, hey, how's your Tesla? He says, I don't own Tesla. I've been selling it off on the last couple of months. And so it's left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths with Chamath, because, here he is talking about you should own Tesla. It's double, triple. Why would you sell? You're kind of implying that you'd be kind of stupid that if you did sell. And here he is, sold off everything. So twofold, I have opinions on this. One is, at the end of the day, his personal money is his own autonomy. Who am I to say what he should do with his money? It could be very well possible that if he thinks Tesla is a double, triple from here, he had an opportunity come up in his personal life where he thinks he has a 10x possibility, so he sold. The second issue, though, is, I don't know. I'm not sure with his fund and all this sort of stuff, like how the regulation works with him disclosing all this stuff. In fact, I have no idea if he's just a private citizen with his own money. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know. But I mean, it ruins your credibility a little bit, right? That's why I don't say stuff like you should buy and hold XYZ. Like I never say that to anyone, because who am I to tell you? Well, like, I'm an idiot. Who am I to tell you what you should do with your money? The fact that Chamath come out and said, why would you sell Tesla? You should hold double, triple, like explicitly saying, you're dumb if you do this. That's what's leaving kind of a sour taste in people's mouths, right? That's the issue. At the end of the day, though, do I care? Not really. Do I think the shares like that very well, by the way, I'm not sure how much he had, but if you look at the daily graph, That interview came out in February, and if you look at it, we saw a massive decline with huge volume here. It could, and he sold SPCE as well, Virgin Galactic, around this time. It very well could be possible that the massive declines that we were seeing at these levels could, be partially responsible to massive whales like Chamath selling. So, who knows? Again, I don't think we're ever going to get answers on that. So, do you think some of the SPACs he got involved in are struggling? He did not seem as confident in the interview, says Tim. Yeah, Tim, I was in IPOF. I was in IPOE at one point as well. I just kind of felt like everything was moving so slow. His momentum got lost. The market kind of crashed in March. That kind of ruined his whole vibe around all the SPACs. SPAC season is kind of over, kind of sort of over at the moment. Like, it's definitely not as hot as it was earlier this year. So, DJ says he sold last year. He has a new video about him saying this. Hmm. I think he said that. I think he said, "Oh, I've been selling for the last year." Oh, actually, never mind. Just the last. I think he misspoke. Is kind of what happened, but we'll see. He sold last year. Okay, a couple of you guys are saying that. Interesting. Implied volatility percentile on Tesla on a 52 level. Someone's asking is 22 on my app. 22 out of 100. Chamath SEC. I'm not sure what abbreviation you want to put on for that, but I get you. There's a video that's new from like a day ago. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. Gideon, how's it going? Logging in from Melbourne. Let's go, gang. How's it going? Chamath lost his credibility, says Phillips. Yeah, that's kind of where the sentiment is lying. It's not necessarily that he shouldn't have sold or he can't sell. It's just the fact that, his credibility a little bit, right? And to be clear, if he had come on to CNBC, in my opinion, and said, I personally really like Tesla, and this is him talking, he said, I really like Tesla, and for me, it's a good fit, and I don't see why I would sell. And then he sold, it's less of an issue. It's just like, hey, it's a personal decision. Who knows what happened in his personal life? But he kind of came off as like, you're kind of an idiot if you sell, right? And I think that's where the problem and kind of the double standard kind of was with him. But let's see. I mean, Chamath's taken a lot of beating and bruising, socially speaking, over the last year. But he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Let's look at option flows, shall we? Let's look at option flows. Let's pull up black box stocks here. Okay, so option flows for the day. I'm going to filter out for only showing me sweeps. And let's only take a look at weeklies for a second. Okay, so some 700 strike puts have come in, expiring today. Very small premium. And then actually a lot of call premium came in. Actually, it's been a while. Okay, so we haven't seen, if you look at the time, this is about 20 minutes ago. So we haven't, wow, a lot of call premium came in today, above 780. I almost feel like 780 plus is looking decent. 7075 at least is looking like a magnet for the day. So let's take off weeklies for a second as a filter, and let's look at just generally speaking what's come in. Okay, so some 695 puts have come in a couple of minutes ago. Some sweeps, that is, at the ask. About 150, 300, 500, about $500,000 to $600,000 worth of 695 sweeps for next week. Actually, way more than that. If I look down here, so a large amount of put sweeps coming in. A large amount of put sweeps coming in for 695. Again, this is the issue, and I'll pull back Webull, and it looks like obviously that's what's playing through here. This is the issue with put sweeps on right before exogenous events like earnings or deliveries in this case, is that you can't really tell if it's insurance hedging or if it's betting on the downside. That's the issue, right? So like a week before earnings call, I'll generally take a grain of salt when it comes to options flow, because it could be a lot of it could be hedging. From the way that the flows are looking, I haven't seen this much flow, option flow, put or call wise, in a while. It just feels like there's a lot of option money coming back in that I for a while wasn't seeing. In fact, if I look at the options chain, if you guys watched my video yesterday, let me know. But I did an analysis from Boyle down, if you're here in the chat, who tweeted at me saying, "Hey, check out how much more premium there is baked on the put side than the call side." So if I come in here and Tesla's trading at 775 ish, let's say right now 773, but close enough to that strike. If I come down to the 700 strike, right? So $75 on the downside, a put costs about 850, right? 850 is what it costs. If I go $75 on the upside, so let's say or sorry, 700. I don't know why I said 850. 700 strike put cost me 850. If I go $75 on the upside, so I add $75 to the stock price right now, that should get me to the 850 strike. An 850 strike calls out the money, or only going for $1.50, whereas the same distance away on the put side are going for 850. I had a comment yesterday saying your analysis is completely wrong. Just because puts are baked in more, this doesn't mean it's necessarily going to go down. And again, this is all about odds. This is all about my way to interpret options pricing. Do whatever you need to do. But the way I look at options pricing here is, if there's a large amount of calls coming in for next week, let's say if someone knew something, big money knew something, these calls would be a lot more expensive in my opinion. And I think we've seen this multiple times. Like for example, if I go back on the daily, and the first time when we tried breaking off 780, where is it? Right over here, or not 780, but our 729, I think, resistance level. What was this back in August? And I remember looking at the options pricing back then and seeing kind of a discrepancy, but not really making too much of a fuss of it. We proceeded to sell off past that resistance level very acutely. And when I say sell off, I mean retrace back to supply. So the good news with today's, if you want to call it consolidation, I think that's probably a good way to put it, is on the daily, we are retracing back to the 9, and we've retraced past the 9, and we've reclaimed it. So us finishing anywhere over, let's say 781, we definitely got some work to do if we're going to get there, is very bullish. But at the very minimum, we are consolidating and showing that the 9-day moving average, which is sitting at 768, is not going to be something that we're going to break through easily. Now, we might gap down post deliveries if expectations are set too high and Tesla's not delivering, but at least that's what price action is telling us, or telling me at least. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no coffee today. No coffee today, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, you guys know I'm off coffee. I've got the tea though. Solid Snake says Tesla going to 600. Mark my words. All right, fair enough. Um, let's see here. Paco, thank you so much. Says watches all of them. Let's see here. $1,200 by the end of the year, says AJ. What goes up must come down. The faster the high, the harder the fall. Yeah, essentially that's what I'm thinking. Do I have any weekly call options for next week? What was that? Sorry. No, I sold. So this is the question. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, and I have about half an hour to make a decision. I don't necessarily want to buy weeklies again for next week, especially looking at the put side premium. Very baked into the downside. I'm still holding my January leaps, and I'm still holding obviously shares. One thing that I've done, by the way, is just I've moved more into equity, I think, which is like giving me more time back in my day. Like when you're trading options, when you're doing a lot of options, and 2020 was awesome for it. Don't get me wrong. Um, you just need more time, more management, more mental capacity, right? So if you look at the options pricing though, is there anything attractive for next week on the upside? Well, I guess you could say upside is pretty attractive because it's if you're a Tesla bull and you think Tesla's going to 850 next week, you think these prices are pennies on the dollar. The problem I have is I've made that bet way too many times in the last 6 months where I am fundamentally thinking that the upside premium is low, meaning it's an advantage on the tail side. And I've been burnt way too many times. And I'm considering, for me at least, this to be a market maker a signal, at least. So we shall see. You guys can let me know what you guys are up to. And also Kai says also the 3-day rule. Great point. If Tesla does come out with amazing deliveries, who's to say Mondays when it gaps up? Maybe on the third day. So a lot to consider here. A lot to consider. But let me know in the comments if you guys are if you guys are if you guys are planning on doing anything. Faisal said I've sold a bunch of 630, 600 put spreads expiring next week. Nice. Yeah, premium is pretty decent probably for that. 630s are going for $3 and 600s are going for $2. So you collected a dollar. Yeah, yeah, for next week. Yeah, it's all about risk reward, right? So, let's see here. Andy says the house always wins in a casino. Don't be the player, be the house. That's what you do usually when you're selling options, right? Is you're being the house. So what's the 3-day rule? Says Royce. 3-day rule is, generally speaking, this theory where, if really good fundamental or really bad fundamental news does come out, let's say earnings or something like that. We witnessed this with Tesla stock earnings last quarter. It takes sometimes a few days before Wall Street can, dissect, analyze, pass the information along to their institutional clients, make some buy sell recommendations. Like it takes a couple of days for kind of the wheels to start turning around the news. T-Max says Tesla's peaking in late January. Maybe Chamath was regretfully saying to everyone, "Don't do what I did and sell." Huh? Interesting perspective. It could be. Now, here's the thing. Knowing him, I think he would have led with that if that was the case. Like, hey, I sold Tesla when it was 700 or 800, way before it went up to 900. When I was talking to you guys, I think he would have led with that. Let's see here. Kevin says we've had a good run up to 800 here. Some good news is baked in for sure. So even amazing delivery numbers likely won't be digested well. But I'm a buyer of shares at 700 to 750. Philip says max pain on Tesla 775. It is happening. Let's see. So let's pull up the 1 minute. It's max pain is max pain. You guys know how I feel about max pain. It's a tool in the tool belt. I've warmed up more than I probably thought I ever would have to max pain. I still don't love max pain as the only holy grail metric for everything. By the way, volume today is, what is it? Where's my volume graph? There it is, 14.3 million. Average volume is about 19 million. So, we're a little bit short on volume this Friday, which tells me, by the way, which tells me window dressers likely probably have sold maybe some shares already this morning or today. Because, if you're window dressing, do you really have intention to hold Tesla stock or just have a perception of holding it? So I think a lot of the weakness that we saw today was based around that as well. Let's see here. There we go. So 772.65 on Tesla shares. Let me see if let's see if what hold on, what is happening over here? Alex Jones was just on CNBC. That was interesting. Why was he on CNBC? What did he do? Let's check this out though.
Percent for the Nasdaq. Up next, Jeff DeGraff from Renaissance Macro tells us what he's seeing in the charts and why seasonality gets better for cyclicals from here on out. And later, Dr. Anthony Fauci weighs in on.
All right. Okay. I don't really care about cyclicals, to be honest. Okay. So 773 might be turning back around. We're probably going to be flirting in the zone. Volume weighted average price for the day is 771. So we should have really good support there on the downside. But 775 is, yeah, let me know that. Actually, yeah, that's a good question to ask for me in the comments. Let me know in the chat. We have 30 minutes to go here. Let me know in the chat what your price prediction for close is. On the exact, let's say. Let's see who gets closest. We have half an hour till close. Paco says Chamath liked the attention Tesla move was given him. Yeah, agreed. I think he was smart to associate himself with a booming stock and a raving community at that point when he wanted to raise funds for SPACs. I think that makes total sense. Wow. Okay, a lot of guests coming in. Andy says 768, 771, 778. 768, 770, 803, 778, 769.98. There we go. 769. Tyler says 950. There's always Tyler there for you to keep things light. 771 to 777. All right, so everyone is generally speaking staying under 780. It looks like. I mean, there's a couple exceptions here, but okay. Raptor says, "Do you know any tools that will graph historical price versus Max Payne?" That's a great question. I don't because I don't look at Max Payne other than what you awesome folk in Discord tell me. So that's a great question. Maybe someone in the Max Payne community would know. But I guess you could manually track it, but that'd be a lot. 775. Okay. So almost every one of you guys are commenting under 780, which I find very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. That almost makes me more bullish on the close. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay. There we go. Arsync says, "Man, I'm so down. I grabbed a bottle of Jameson and been drinking since 1 p.m. I hope everything's okay, man. Hope everything is okay. If you're just doing it for celebratory reasons, no big deal. If you're down, some days you just need those days. So hang in there. Hang in there. Things will get better." DJ, I need to get that Kool-Aid Man sound. Nothing moves until Germany opens. Very fair take. Mr. Valentine has set the price, says T-Mac. Let's see here. If deliveries come, Andy says at 239 plus, I think the stock will do well next week. Rob is pretty accurate with his predictions. Man, if Rob is right at 251, like that is incredible. That's literally 50% of the deliveries that Tesla did all of last year in one quarter with no new additional factories. Just ramping. That's nuts. Michael says we're all idiots. I'm definitely in that club. Swaggy stock site shows comparison of Max Payne versus stock price. Thank you, Charles. There we go. Raptor, there's your answer. 11 Gordon's equals 777. Al says, "How come Weeble doesn't give you real-time quotes while you promote them?" Well, this is a real-time quote, but you're totally right. Like I talked about this last Friday. Being a Canadian, I'm like a second-class citizen to most of these brokers. So although I promote them for their charting stuff, I don't get level 2 access with being a Canadian. It's just not possible. But this price is accurate. It's up to date. But yeah, the level 2 is not showing. So I know it's kind of whack, but I guess that's what I get for being a Canadian. Okay. Let's see here. That's right. David says, "Sorry I'm late. So why aren't we going to close 800 with a very bullish? So why are we not going to close 800 with a very bullish delivery report coming?" I think the going thesis is that, how much of this is priced in is the question, right? So that's the kind of the question that we're dealing with. 775, by the way, on the stock price for all the audio listeners right now. Yeah. Arsing said, "I was joking, honestly, just kind of upset about this week having to drink, calming my nerves, live your work." Thank you, Arsing. Appreciate that. Sometimes you need that, right? Just take a little time off. Drink some tea or whatever, and have some citrus, have some juju. Michael says, "You want a US address so you can get level 2. I appreciate that, Michael. You offered that last week as well. I don't think it's as simple as just me getting a US address. I think I actually have to be a US citizen and sign some like documents and stuff like that. But to be honest, it's not a big deal. I always have level 2 access on my interactive brokers if I really wanted to pull it up and show it on the screen. So I appreciate it. Yeah, volume's a little bit low. Drink juju, says Tesla owner. There we go. So yeah, let's talk about weekly candles. Good point. So this is the weekly chart for Tesla. Again, just been grinding up slowly but surely, minus a couple of weeks on Tesla, all the way really from middle of May, from 555 to where we're sitting at 775. Putting in sort of a doji depending on where we close on the day. Again, remember, we have 20 more minutes left. Anything can happen. $10 up or down, really anything. on a Bollinger Band side, we are riding the wave up on the Bollinger Band. We haven't retraced down to the 9 week this week at all, which is nice because the 9 week's sitting at like 730. It's just gonna it's look at the weekly candle that we saw in the beginning of the year, right? January was an amazing time. Let me know in the comments if you remember how good January felt when we were literally every week going $100 up from 600 to 700 to 800, and then topping off at $940. Just absolutely crazy. Um, but where we're sitting at right now is a pretty strong position on the weekly. Like we're riding the upper Bollinger Band up. Uh, Exogenous news is coming in. It could be sell the news, but really it's going to depend on how good these deliveries are. I guess no one really knows. So a lot of good happening. Al says, how does Interactive Brokers compare to Webull in your opinion? For Canadians, for Canadians, I don't get to use Webull. I've already covered that, but I think Interactive Brokers is more of an institutional platform. There's more like Webull makes it really simple and easy if you're like even like if you're just a consumer. If you want to be more of a prosumer, you like to dive into the stats and track implied volatility charts and all this sort of stuff. I think Interactive Brokers is in that way they have more data. That being said, I don't love the software that Interactive Brokers has. It's just a little bit slow and it's more Java based. So yeah. But yeah, Webull is very easy to use charting wise. I like just how easy it is. Okay. Let's see here. Eric says, joining late, heard someone is speculating that next week could bring a sell the news event. Doesn't seem to be much buying rumor this week. Remember, Monday was the majority of the window dressing that we saw. If you look at the Monday candle, if you don't remember it, we went up from 745 all the way to 775 on Tesla this Monday. So the majority of the window dressing, I think, happened on the Monday. Today, since it's the first day of October, I don't think window dressers have any incentive to keep stock. So I think we're seeing some selling pressure there. Options premium wise, I don't love what I see. Personally speaking, you can make your own interpretations from what you want. I don't love that the upside premium is not there in Tesla. It's very low. Now, there's two ways you can look at that. Yashu, you're an idiot. It's low. That means it's a great risk reward for me and my account. Okay, good luck. Another way to look at it is it's low, meaning not a lot of big money is flowing into upsides for next or upside premium for next week, which means maybe someone's already tipped off. Maybe the market doesn't think that Tesla's going to blow it off the water. There's a million different ways you can interpret it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. Raptor says, Igor just posted a short list. Tesla is on top. Yeah, Tesla is not on the top of short interest percentage by share or by company, meaning if you took all the outstanding shares and you counted, if Tesla has 1 billion outstanding shares and 100 million are shorted, it'd be 10%. Tesla is not ranking very high on that percentage level, but at an absolute level of how many shares outstanding multiplied by, I think by volume, but by share price to get volume, Tesla is there with a big text. Now, remember, short interest doesn't always mean that they're short sellers per se. Now, by definition, I guess you could say that, they are. But remember, if you're long Delta, you could be, if you're long Delta on any company by equity or by warrants, and you want to offset that, shorting the shares might make sense at times. Another thing, I think Igor is with S3, I think, and S3 does put analysis along with their share interest analysis. The only legitimate way that you can get short interest, despite what everyone says, is if you go to NASDAQ and you go to Tesla stock and you come in and you look at their short interest section in here and you check it out and you'll say October. It says as of September 15th, the short interest on Tesla was about 27 million shares outstanding. And which means with the average volume that Tesla gets, around now, that's about 1.63 days to cover the short interest, and that's higher than we've seen it. The highest we've seen higher before in middle of June, pardon me. So, there's that, but it's definitely not as high as we saw at the end of January, for example. So, you know, I don't put much credence into that, but it's interesting. I think whenever you become a mega cap company, you're gonna have a large magnitude of shorted shares just because there's just more reasons to be short shares than kind of nefarious reasons. 775 on the stock. We got some call sweeps coming in, albeit very low volume. 27K, 15K. I don't even know why this $400 one, $400 one is showing in here. But 780 strike put sweeps coming or call sweeps coming in. Again, that half an hour ago we saw a massive amount of 695 puts for next week come in. So keep that in mind. 775. It looks like we're climbing a little bit here, folks, into close. Martin says, "Greetings, Yasha from Argentina. How's it going, Martin?" I appreciate that, Arsing. Thank you. Also, I wish Weeble or Tasty Trade would come to Canada. Amen. 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 Okay. Let's check it out here. Clayton says, "How do you think the current debt crisis with the government will affect Tesla long term?" I think long term, my perspective with anything governmental related and these kind of shocks that we get is like long term, good companies will win as long as society is standing, right? I actually listened to Jeff Bezos last night in a YouTube video, and he was saying, everyone asks me what's going to change in 10 years, and he says what people should be asking me is what's not going to change in 10 years. People in 10 years are still going to want low prices. They're still going to want fast delivery. They're still going to want good products. No one's going to come to me in 10 years, Jeff says, and say, "You know what, Jeff, I really like Amazon, but I just wish your prices were higher." Right. And I think the same can kind of be said with all these like exogenous effects like the debt ceiling and what's going to happen with interest rates. Yes, they're going to have effect on yield curves and valuation to a degree, but in the long run, which company is going to win is almost independent to that. People are still going to need transportation. People are still going to want to pay less for their vehicles. People are still going to want to drive better vehicles. Electric vehicles are not going to be affected really by most of this stuff. So in the long run, I don't really consider it to be effective. Now, what happens here in the next couple months, half a year, whatever it is, to be determined. you guys are you guys hate Bezos. You can hate Bezos, but there's a lot to learn from what he's done. Um Alrighty, so 774 on Tesla. Man, I should have taken my Advil. You guys know I'm still dealing with my migraines from the wisdom teeth operation that I had a couple weeks ago now. Still dealing with it. So the Nasdaq is sitting up 60 basis points, which is nice. S&P 500 is where it is. It's up 1.1%. So we're seeing some rotation out of tech. It seems like Neo had great deliveries. It's down 42 basis points. Lucid's down 2.3%. Let's check what else here. Roku's down 36 basis points. Really, nothing's for the most part. The market is not really doing much. Zoom's up 2.3% on who knows what. Apple's up about 50 basis points. Wow, Apple is really swinging around today. It was just massively down in the dumps. Really good recovery. Crypto is coming back up, by the way. Bitcoin is at $48,000. This weekend might be a big weekend for crypto. Cardano is sitting at $2.25. Remember, we hit over $3 at one point. Ethereum is sitting here at $3,300. So really good recovery since last night in crypto. So something to consider there. If I don't know if Gary Black is still on the hey, Bitcoin's crashing, that's why Tesla is crashing phase, but that's proof otherwise right there. A Juju Excedrin migraine is a lot better than Motrin. Do you have dry socket? I'm pretty sure I did, AK. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I got this like migraine. It's just nuts. Crypto is dangerous. No thanks, says DJ. Okay, so 773 on Tesla share. You guys have a lot of predictions coming in. It looks like we have 10 minutes left till close here, and a lot of your predictions might fall into this here. Hey, do you think I should? So So if deliveries come out tomorrow and I have some time, should I go live tomorrow or should I just do a pre-recorded like 5-minute video and publish that? If I go live, it won't be very long, but I'm trying to debate if I should go live when delivery numbers come out or if I should pre-record that and publish it out. Believe it or not, it's actually easier for me to go live than it is for me to pre-record and publish. It's just a lot less work for me. Let me know though. Alex says no. Okay. Vince says yes. Adam says yes. Live, live, live. So you guys live and publish. Live stream will be awesome. So do you guys like? So I take it live stream is better than pre-recorded. Okay. Whatever works for you. I appreciate that, Alex. Okay. If I'm blown away with the numbers, let's go live. Even if it's for 10 or 15 minutes, you're gonna have to hit subscribe. This is not, by the way, I promise this is not some sort of hostage situation. I didn't say this just so I could say hit subscribe, but if I go live, it's going to be at a random time. I'm really not going to be able to predict it. So hit the subscribe and hit the bell. And without the bell, you're not going to know. Right? Jay asks, how would we know? Honestly, I might tweet it out, but if it's like I have like half an hour or less than half an hour, I might just like screw it. Like Bill O'Reilly, go live. Eff it, go live. So, but call me first since the alerts don't work. Yeah, sorry, Adam. I've gotten a lot of people saying that when they hit the bell, they don't get the notification all the time. That could be a phone issue, to be honest. Depending on if you have your notifications off for YouTube or something. Yeah, it's yeah, I know it sucks. Okay, so I'll try to go live. If Tesla does, let me draw a line in the sand. If Tesla delivers 240,000 or more vehicles, or produces, I should say, produces is probably better because we know that they're gonna deliver every car they produce. If they produce more than 240,000 cars tomorrow, let's go live. If it's less, I'll take my time, I'll pre-record something, and then I'll publish it out. How's that? Gray American says the bell will give you a 30-minute reminder. Ah, there we go. Thank you. They will do that for sure, says Christopher. I hope so. I'm kind of hoping that I go live now at this point. Exactly, Tyler. Yes. Okay. Let's do it. Gat says that we might get numbers after hours. I really doubt it, to be honest. I think we're gonna get it tomorrow, is my guess. And the reason for that, there was some rumors yesterday on Twitter that I was seeing of people saying delivery numbers are gonna be out this morning. Like this morning, they're gonna come out. I wouldn't be surprised. Like hell no. And the reason for that is when you're buying a car from Tesla and you're writing a check in, and done this from experience. I was talking to the sales rep. That bank draft that I give them, that cashier's check that I give them, sometimes takes a day or two for them to process it and clear it out to mark it as a delivery, right? So a couple of days would put us a couple of days later, but they at least take one day so they can consolidate close enough, and then by the time earnings call comes, they know for sure what's happening. Michael says no need to go live over the weekend. Give yourself a break. Michael, I feel like first of all, I appreciate that. But you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be pushing out more content on this channel. Like more content, more lives, maybe a couple of videos a day some days. Like I'm gonna start going harder now that it's October. My schedule is a little bit clearer. I'm back into work focus mode. The goal is to grow the channel, I think, and putting out good content is the only way to do that. So I appreciate the sentiment. I feel like I'm kind of back in the mode where all day is work day for me. Okay, are we gonna go green? 775. Someone asks. Tyler asks. Yes, we're 30 cents away. Here we go. 7 minutes to close, says Marco. Abel says go full time. If enough of you guys support the channel, hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment, join the Juju gang, whatever it is. Maybe that'll happen. Appreciate that, guys. Okay. Yeah, how many likes are we at? Great American says 239. Let me see. We're at where? Oh man, my monitors. 249 likes. We have 700 people, 800 people watching. Let's hit 500 likes, shall we? Last week we had 1.1 thousand likes. So let's see if you're watching this, if you're liking the content, if you like Tesla, consider hitting the like. Let's see, 275. Okay, we're growing here. We're growing. What's that quote? Whatever metric you watch grows, right? 286 likes. There we go. Let's get over 300. Oh, there we go. Okay, 310. Hey, Tesla's green. Hit like for Tesla going green. There we go. 776 on Tesla here, rounding up. Okay, so Tesla's really fighting in this zone. Hey, thanks for the super chat.
Haha, no Pocky chip for me. RIP 800.85.
Some context there. Valerian was on Reddit saying if Tesla closes at 885 exactly today or tomorrow or yesterday or today, he's gonna do the one chip challenge, and looks like he is spared from that. But we still got 6 minutes. Who knows? Thanks for the super chat, man. Okay, yeah, we're flirting here with red to green. CM says, no, you're 100% wrong. The sale is final and recorded when the purchase documents are signed. Yes, indeed. But until the money comes in, Tesla has a hard time recognizing that revenue, right? When I give them a bank draft and they just hold it, and I take delivery and I give them the bank draft like I did last December on the last day of the quarter, well, and it's after business hours, they can't deposit that bank draft right away, right? But I mean, you're on the hook for the money. That's a different issue. That's what I'm saying. Let's just leave it to production, because what they produce is independent of that. So, Brian, how's it going? Like, baby, what's going on? What's everyone who's also an Oregon Cashflow Pro? Yes, indeed. How many likes we at? 358. Okay, 358. Get to 500. Hey, Marco, thanks for the super chat. 778 euros. There we go. Thank you, Arsing. Tesla doesn't recognize deliveries, DJ says, until the customer has keys in their hands. Elon has said this. Keep bussing. Isn't it just accounts receivable until recognized? Yes. Accounts receivable, yes. Again, I don't know all the accounting rules. I'm just going off what the sales rep told me, that it can take a couple of days before delivery numbers are totally finalized. Delivery numbers, not production numbers, right? We'll gap up Monday, Shree says. 800 plus on Monday. I would love that. I had someone comment on my last video saying, you're wrong. Tesla's going to go up. You're going to lose a lot of money. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm long Tesla. Like, you don't think I'm happy if Tesla passes 800, 900 bucks? Like, there we go. Thank you, Brian. Brian says, thanks for doing what you're doing. I appreciate that, Brian. Praying for 250,000 insane beat, says Rohit. It'll be a crazy, crazy number if that indeed happens. 376 likes. Okay, there we go. We got how many people? We got 726 people watching. I think we can hit 500 likes. Again, I usually don't care about likes. It does help grow the channel. I've been seeing a lot more growth in the channel since you guys have been killing that like button, to be quite candid. So I should have been asking for it before. 250,000 would be massive news. I agree. 3 minutes left. Yes, Edward, indeed. 776.11. It really feels like we're about to close that max pain. It really feels like we're about to go on max pain. Immortalized on YouTube. If Tesla opens on Monday at 885, I'll do the one chip challenge. Man, you know what? I think you secretly really want to do this challenge, and I think as long as Tesla opens above 700, you should do it. How about that? How about that? And then you should record it and post it on Reddit so everyone can see it. Okay. Thank you, Alex. There we go. Remember, 3-day rule as well, right? Delivery numbers should be out, Albert, probably tomorrow morning is my guess. Thank you, Vinod. Hey, thanks for sharing on Facebook, Brian. Appreciate that. No way. All right, 2 minutes left. 775, 35 sitting on Tesla. We are just literally, Tesla is trying to choose if it wants to close green or if it wants to close red. Again, which indicates on the weekly, we are putting in that doji candle, which signals uncertainty. But that being said, if I go back to the doji candle, the last one that we had was August the 6th. That following week, we did appreciate all the way up from where we closed at 700 to 730. So, it's not unheard of to appreciate post doji candle. It's just probability, right? Everything's probability wise. When is another time that we had a doji? And this is pretty close to doji. This was last October. Now I'm really reaching. So yeah, Tesla really doesn't put in very many doji candles on the weekly, it looks like. All right, there we go. 775. It really feels like we're about to close there. 775, folks. So whoever guessed 775 earlier on in the stream, I think there was like a million of you guys that guessed 775. Y'all win. Y'all win some juju. Go to the store, buy yourself an orange, on on yourself, and enjoy it. Yeah, a lot of people guessed 775. That was Max Payne. So Max Payne prevails again. It looks like, folks. Couple seconds here till close. What's a doji candle? It's DOJI. Look it up. It's just when the wicks are pretty equal size and Tesla finishes essentially flat. Regardless, exciting week ahead next week. Tomorrow we'll see. Tomorrow we'll get our delivery numbers, very likely, if not Sunday. We'll see. Okay, closed at 775.22. There we go. Peter Tran, thank you for the $5 Canadian super chat. Appreciate that. Let's go quarter 3 delivery numbers this weekend. Appreciate that. 775.22 closing on Tesla. Go here.
Let's go Q3 delivery numbers this weekend.
That bot makes me laugh every time. Arseng says, Yashu, we make a female YouTube channel where they talk about stocks like you. Imagine the scale. Oh, so you're saying if I was a girl, I'd get more views? Yeah, probably, very likely. And also, but that being said, I don't think I'd look very good as a girl, to be honest. I'm very ugly. Okay. I didn't want to imagine that. You made me go there. Okay. Our DJ says, wait 5 or 10 minutes to see if they put up deliveries. We'll see. Or if it pops. I really don't think we're gonna get deliveries. I'd be wrong if it happens, but I have a high confidence in saying we're not gonna get delivery numbers today. Tomorrow morning. Baymax is always here for that. Gonzalez says, tonight feels like Christmas Eve. On the eve of what is going to be the biggest delivery quarter number that has come in history. By the way, we're at 435 likes, 70 away from 500. I'll take 500. Let's see if we can get there. Let me just pull up hypercharts again. Shout out to Gally on hypercharts for the site. If we pull this up, vehicles delivered again. Remember last quarter, Tesla delivered 201,300 cars. What's crazy is Tesla has opened a total of 0 gigafactories since this delivery report has come out last quarter, and is about to beat this close to, estimates show, about 50 grand. So about 25% more quarter over quarter of productions. It's just nuts. It's nuts. Thank you, whatever. You guys are hilarious. Oh man, I'm not even gonna read half these comments. You guys are hilarious. Bearded girl. Oh man, no comment. Different strokes for different folks, right? Adil says it's been second day of new quarter for at least the last 6 quarters. It's been second day of, oh yeah, for announcing it. Yes. And I had my hesitations about Saturday. I don't remember in past memory it being a Saturday, but I think they did in like 2017 or 2018. So it's been a long time. Brian says the next quarter will become a record, and then the next quarter, and the next quarter. Exactly. It's a broken record in that respect, for sure. But great broken record, mind you. It's a song I want to hear, right? What's going to be really interesting, let's see if, okay, Gally has on hypercharts.com/ or hypercharts.co/TSLA, there's also margin, right? And I think looking at like operating margin sitting at what, 11% last quarter, margin, operating income, or OPEX, not OPEX, I'm all over the place. Gross margin X ZEV credits is the number to look at. X ZEV credits. So with ZEV credits, it was at 24. This could be without, but I think a couple percentage lower from ZEV. What I think is going to be interesting is to see that I really don't think Tesla is going to have a lot of ZEV credits left in the next couple of quarters. They might have a good amount left for this quarter, but I'm not sure. And maybe we'll get an update from Zachary Kirkhorn on ZEV credits, but I don't think they have a massive amount of ZEV credits left here. So we'll see. Christopher says 39 more likes. Yes, indeed. Yeah, 39 more likes, folks, and we hit 500. 39 more likes. So if you're watching, you like Tesla, consider hitting like. Doesn't cost you anything. By the way, if you want to join the Juju Gang, And by the way, thanks to all my Patreon supporters of the channel. Without you, the channel doesn't exist. I could not say that enough. I feel like I don't. So first of all, thanks to all the Patreon subscribers on in the Juju Gang. Again, you don't have to be part of Patreon to be a part of the official Juju Gang. That's anyone that it's a self attributed title that you can have as long as you have good vibes. But if you want to join the Juju Gang on Patreon, that being said, link is in the description. Patreon.com/hitthatbid. 5, 15, whatever dollars a month. It's basically buying me a coffee if you want. And also, super chat coming in. Adam
Juju,
says,
can you teach more on Tesla spreads sometime soon, please? Next few weeks.
for sure. Thanks for the super chat, Adam. I do have credit spreads on the schedule that I need to publish out. So absolutely keep an eye out on that. I'll do call spreads and maybe put spreads together in one video. But for sure. Jason says, proud to support you. Appreciate that, Jason. One of the VIPs again on our Patreon membership. By the way, you'll see your name there in the description as well. Baymax says, I'm Juju now. Yes, indeed, you are. Just gotta proclaim it. But yeah, if you want to join Patreon, go for it. Link is in the description. You get Discord access. Now, if you don't know what Discord is, I do get a lot of Twitter DMs, believe it or not, saying, what's Discord? Do I care about Discord? It's essentially like a chat room where you can join servers and different channels about options or Tesla or Apple or whatever's happening. And there's a couple hundred, I think over 250 of us in there that we talk about Tesla for the most part, but options trading, what people are doing. Obviously, none of it's financial advice. It's just what people are doing and wherever they are in their journey. But it helps to bounce ideas off people, be in a group with like-minded people. And yeah, the only requirement is that you bring good juju when you come in, and we have a good time in there. Love the live streams. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Ben. Appreciate it. So it's good juju gang. Yes, Brian. It's only good juju. I think the good part is kind of implied in there. Yeah, good juju only for sure. By the way, I did update something. I did talk about this, but I got an amazing comment from someone about the merch. So let me just pull this up. Someone said, you need to make a sweater. And I thought it was a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. Is you need to make a sweater with just the juju on the left side. And that's what I did right here. So I just made the shirt, and I'll pull up the sweater later if you want. But just with the juju on the left-hand side. Nothing else. Don't hit that bid. Nothing. Just the juju. If you want to get that, link is in the description for the merch as well. Check it out. Mine is literally coming in the mail, but it's stuck at customs. I redesigned everything 2 weeks ago, ordered it for samples, and it's literally stuck at customs. The problem of living in Canada sometimes. But it should be here this week. That was me, says Ello. Thank you, Ello. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. Have a great weekend. Vern says, great job, dude. Thanks for an engaging week. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for your Patreon membership as well. DJ says, I had a question. Sometimes after hours, the price jumps $5 or $10 for a second or two. I've always wondered what that means. Usually those are settled trades that happens, or maybe fat fingers, depending on brokers. So, settled trades, meaning, prearranged trade price that doesn't come through the ticker tape until later. So usually when you see that, it's just kind of a nothing burger. So don't really give it much attention. For the most part, my general rule with after hours trading is that unless there is material news that is out, I don't pay attention really to after hours trading, up or down for the most part. I saw a sweater with the citrus on the left on wallstreetmemes.com. Really? Wallstreetmemes.com. I have no idea what that is, but I'll visit it after. Alrighty, guys. Take care. Have an awesome end of the week. Happy Friday to everyone. 775 on Tesla. Pretty much flat on the week. Regardless, good times ahead. Delivery numbers ahead. Might go live tomorrow. Hit subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be alerted. I'll try to post it at least 10 minutes before I go live. So not a lot of a heads up, but follow me on Twitter if you want as well. Like we say every Friday. I can't believe it's been a week since our last Friday stream already. But like we say every Friday, you don't need to open your portfolio, your trading account, your investment account over the weekend. Stock prices don't change on Friday. Spend some time away from the computer, away from the screen. Focus on your mental health. Go meditate. Go spend time with family and loved ones. Do whatever you need to recalibrate. Have an amazing week next week. All right, guys. Take care. Prioritize your health and your life. All right. Much love. Yashu, the old man, signing off. Take care. See everyone.